And an introduction.
Well, I just wanted to fool everybody by freezing. Right, okay, here we go. Everybody all right? I'm just going to share this onto...
Hello.
Can we share this on here? No, we can't because it's an arsehole. Do you know, modern technology. Modern technology. The frig. Just bear with me whilst I try and share this. Right.
Do you need it into the Dark Mirror one?
The page, the Dark Mirror page. I put it onto the normal one. It's being a dick and I can't get it onto the page because it's a fucking dick. Anyway, how is everybody? Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't either.
No.
I can't share it to the page. I can share it to the group, but not the page.
Yeah, it's a bumhole.
We got to be coming up on that 60 days.
I can. Yeah,
We must
we're all
be.
60 days. Right, I've done it. Right, there we go. I had a brainwave. Right, we're supposed to be, for everybody who doesn't know, we're supposed to be having a guest on tonight, Mr. Vinny Vineyard, who is a ghost hunter, wrestler, God knows what else this dude doesn't do. Known him for a few years, absolute head case, so he'll get on fine on this show. He has had the link. He asked me earlier if it's still on tonight, and I said yeah, and he said beautiful. So I'm just waiting for him to see the link that I've sent, and then he should be joining us. So hiya Amanda, hiya Eric, hiya everybody else out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, and hello. And there's Mrs. Ellen over there, and everything's going on. So at the moment you have myself, you have the beautiful Wayne, and the beardy weirdy Josh, who's frozen. We're frozen.
There's some weird internet shenanigans going on here.
I wonder if we peed the Bobberment off last week, because ever since we mentioned certain things about the Bobberment, it's been going.
No, it's just firework night over here, and it's messing with the internet.
No, I know what it is. It's
tomorrow, isn't it?
It's because Josh, who we agree with Josh is secretly a Trump supporter. So that's what it is. All the American Bobberment go, we've got to have Kamala Harris. Fuck off. Anyway,
I'm not really thinking about it. It's just having common sense.
Yeah, let's just say I'd like to see Trump over here and get rid of the knobheads we've got over here. So, you know, yes. Oh, fuck it. Let's have the rant anyway. Our government sticking their nose in American government affairs. Russia sticking their nose in Moldovan affairs. North Korea is helping Russia. England's now sending weapons and stuff when they said they wouldn't. It's going to happen. I don't think it'll be thermonuclear, but I think we're going to have another war. And it's a shit show because of little tiny men with massive, massive egos. Bit like politics.
Yeah.
Little tiny men with massive, massive egos. That's where it all starts. So brace yourselves. We were just talking about not the Prepper's Handbook. It was, what's it called? The Book.
Yes.
Which is
the book.
Tell everybody about The Book.
Hang on. If I can actually find it on Amazon. I'll find it somewhere. Oh, okay. Right. Let me...
Oh, what do you mean, poor Josh? Poor Josh. Josh can rock a beard. I have a goatee that's fucking white, so I look like I'm Father Christmas on a holiday most of the year. I know, and if I grow a full beard, I look like a touch kids. So no, I can't grow a beard. Josh can. He gets away with it. Me, I look like Jimmy Savile.
Here we go. Right, the book, The Ultimate Guide to Rebuilding Civilization.
That's the book on what to do and what not to do and how to build things and make things and this, that, and the other in the event of a nuclear holocaust.
It's quite interesting. It's the most expensive book on Amazon. It costs £100, and it tells you how to rebuild civilization by building things like water purifiers, air filters, and things like that in the first chapter. And then the second chapter tells you how to build the tools to build the things in the first chapter.
So
I can't help but think the person that wrote this book got his chapters mixed up.
it sounds like it. It sounds like it.
I thought, you should learn how to build the tools first. Then, you're going to have an air purification system. You need to know how to make the tools to build it first before just building something.
Lots of charcoal for a start. Talking of Bobberments and what's going on across the pond, how is it going across the pond over there with bloody the North Koreans joining the Russians and everything? Because it's quite quiet over here.
Oh, everybody's pissed off about the squirrel. Nobody cares about that right now. We're ready to go to war about that squirrel and that raccoon.
What is that all about? Because I keep seeing things about the squirrel.
Wasn't it?
New York decided to send 5 different agencies to go deal with that. Meanwhile, the NYPD are constantly being jumped on a daily basis. So yeah, that's where New York's spending their money on. It was a guy that was running a nonprofit agency for injured animals. Some photographer in Texas called and bitched and bitched and bitched. Who was also a conservationist, apparently. They came in, went in and treated him like he was a terrorist. They arrested him while they ripped through his house, wouldn't let him feed his animals, none of his horses, and then euthanized the raccoon and the squirrel.
Yeah.
And they're spending the money on that instead of I don't know, feeding the homeless or looking after veterans.
Yeah. And there was a judge running for office who signed off on this, and now he's like, why does nobody like me?
Wow. And over there you've got Kamala Harris or Trump in it.
Yep.
What's that? They raided his house. A bunch of tricks. All add a P and not a T. Yeah, pricks. Yeah, we've got that over here pretty much. We have all the new ones who've been voted in, declaring that they were going to do this, that, and the other, as every fucking one of them does before they get voted. We will do this. We will do that. We swear we will do this. Oh, cross our hearts, we will do this. And as soon as they get voted in, they go, oh, I don't remember saying that. I've got no idea what you're talking about. And then they just go, do you know what? We're going to take all that and give it to the uber rich. You poor guys, fuck off. So that's what's going on over here at the moment. So yeah, great.
Oh, we just give it to other countries, and then when we have a disaster, they're like, "Oh, we don't know where all the money is." Sorry, but they were talking about, we gave billions of dollars to Ukraine the day before when we knew the hurricane was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had over here, they're dedicating millions to refugee stuff, and it's like, I don't understand all these Bobberments that would rather. I mean, there's no offense to any refugees whatsoever. I mean, I appreciate a lot of them are fleeing fucking horrible shit. I get that, and I understand that, but try helping the homeless and the people who need it in your own country first. Then help everybody else.
Yeah. When a country's got their own issues, they need to deal with them issues first before they start dealing with somebody else's.
Make your country happy, and then they're going to be happy for everybody else,
Yeah.
And it's like, I was going to say, you know what started this off with North Korea and joining Russia? Well, somebody, Kim Jong Un turned around to his chief taster and said, "Can you nuke the Chinese for me, please?" And he completely mistook that, and they so gone to shit. And he went, "No, I meant my dinner." So yeah. But now you can get charged by the police for antisocial behaviour over here. You can get charged, but do you know what? Fuck pisses me right off over here. You've got lots of little twats like yobs, teenagers, going around thinking that they're well hard. And they get away with it because the cops, they'll mouth off and me, and all this with the cops. And all the old bill will do is pull them over because they're riding an electric scooter. Instead of getting the ones that are bloody well mugging old grannies and this, that, and the other, and actually dealing with them, or having an old-fashioned cop like you had in the 70s and 80s who would take a little scrote round the back of a building, give them a slap, and say, "You fucking do that again, I'm dragging you down to your dad's by your ear hole." And that would have been the end of it. I had that because I was a little bastard. That sorted me out, and they need that. But unfortunately, these days, you get them all going, "Oh my God, he touched me. Oh, he raped me. Oh, he bumped me," and all this kind of crap. And they don't do anything. They do. Over here, motorbike crime is rife, and it's at its highest it's ever been.
You're always posting about that.
And you've got bikers going around sorting it themselves because when you ring the police go, "Nothing we can do about it."
We were talking about that. There's a lot of bikers here handling shit too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's going to happen if in the event of a war breaking out. We've already been told, I can't say too much, but we've already been told that the stuff that I do with the army is going to be turned into a new version of the Dad's Army. Anybody who does that, it's going to be like a new version of Dad's Army if war breaks out. Okay, fair enough. I can handle that. It's fine. I'm a good shot. I can handle myself, and this, that, and the other. But what gets me is if it does go seriously tits up, what the fuck's going to happen? You got all these idiots who did all these budget cuts for all the armed forces, not just our country, but all over the world. And they did all these budget cuts, and now things are kicking off, and they're frantically trying to recruit. But whilst they're frantically trying to recruit, and they've got to remember, they've got to pay these guys and train these guys, and they're going, "We're going to take all your money and we're going to give it to these people who've come in on floating doors." Not their fault. They can't help it. I understand they're fleeing stuff. Sort your own country out first before you try and sort the other.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, and I think you'll.
Thing is, if you say anything about it, you're the one that gets reprimanded about it.
Yeah.
One of the presenters on GB News, he had mentioned about one of the dinghies coming over from France. Had got damaged and it sunk, and everybody on board ended up in the water, and 2 people died. And he turned to his co-anchor and said, "Quelle surprise." Now, when that video appeared on TikTok, somebody turned around and went, "What a vile human being, he should be banned from the news."
But surely he meant because they've been in the water, it's freezing fucking cold. They played surprise.
Well, no, I went. You do realise what quelle surprise means? It's a French term meaning "what a surprise."
Yeah.
Because it's going to be expected. You're now into November. I think the incident happened at the end of October, just before Halloween. The winter is notoriously known as the worst time of year to have a small boat on the English Channel because the weather is notoriously bad. And it's very bloody cold.
Yeah.
And they tried to come over and something happened to the dinghy and they all ended up in the water. And he was saying, "What a surprise." Because it's not a surprise. And they started having a go at him for it. And you're just like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
It's got so PC. I mean, it used to, and we like, when were you born, Josh?
1988. But the whole thing too is a lot of this isn't people fleeing. These are people getting let out of prison. This is the whole human.
Yeah. There's been lots of that
over again. It's what this is. At least in our country.
Over here, they've let out thousands of prisoners early because the prisons are full. But my thing is, if like people who grow weed or do weed and this, that, and the other, I've always said legalize weed because it does a hell of a lot of good for people. Fucking legalize it, crack on with it. That's my own thought. I'm not expressing everybody's thought here, guys. But everybody these days gets butthurt over nothing. You have to walk around on eggshells for people who want to have sex changes and this, that, and the other. I understand people having sex changes. I get that some people, like me, I'm disabled. I get that some people can be born without various bits and bobs, like myself. Some people lose various bits and bobs along the way, like accidents, war, this, that, and the other. And I get you can be born with a male body and be female inside, or vice versa. I understand all that. I understand the psychology of it, and I understand you're going to have to want these changes. But when you get all these privileged, overprivileged wankers, horrible, vile people going, I am she, they, them, or this kind of bollocks, and they think that everybody should be overly polite, bow down to them, be nice as pie, this, that, and the other, understand this and the other. Back in the 80s, that would have been classed as fucking mental health.
Right, like the tree people. That's the new one. No, the tree people. Identifying of plants. Yep.
Oh, God.
Go on.
It's time to open the mental wards again. That's where we're at.
It's ridiculous. There's all the stuff that's cracking on. Legalize, exactly. Legalize weed.
Maybe it's time to get some lobotomies going again.
Legalize bring back Victorian values. Do it like they do in Denmark. If you want to go and do drugs, they have special places. You go, you do it there. Legalize weed. Everything else, if you want to do it, go and do it under supervised conditions where you're not going to freak out. You're not going to think you're an orange and try and peel yourself and any shit like that. And I'm sorry, she, they, them, I am a man, I am a woman, all this kind of crap. The legitimate ones, no problem. The ones who are doing it just because they're fucking idiots, sorry, no. I got no.
You know what's hilarious about our country about this? While everybody's bitching and fighting about this, the government passed the Safe Sex Act, which means right now, when the draft comes back, they don't care because we're all so sensitive. They don't care if you're a male, female, plant, cat. You're combat ready. You're going.
Yeah.
That's how it is here now.
And I've always said that, bring back conscription.
But that's another thing as well. Now we got the old Pride Poppy.
No.
And that's another thing that is absolutely infuriating veterans at the moment.
No, because it doesn't matter if you're gay, bi, straight, whatever. If you're a veteran, you're a veteran. You shouldn't have your own special poppy.
We have,
along with everyone.
well, obviously, we got the Remembrance Sunday.
Okay.
So we have the red poppy to remember the fallen. And then the animals, then it came about that animals had a purple one.
That's right.
But of course, now the gay rights community didn't want to feel left out, so they demanded that they had a gay pride poppy. So now you've got two different designs of poppy. One is all multicolored, and then one's got one of the petals is the multicolors. And we're like, what the hell does it matter? At the end of the day, if you served in the armed forces and you lost your life, you would still get honoured regardless of whether you had a gay pride poppy or not. But it was notoriously known that gays were not allowed to join the military, and it was only until the late 90s that that the British government allowed it.
See, this is what they want from us, though. They want us all in different boxes hating each other. This is what this is all about. They're doing it. It's doing this to us.
We're going to be reverting ourselves. We're going to be reverting ourselves back to a tribal system.
Mm-hmm.
It's
we can't fight them.
We're going to be composed of different tribes.
It's fucking stupid. It really is.
Well, that's what it is.
Absolutely ridiculous. All this. I'm just trying to see if our guest has. No, he's not even seen the link I sent him. Vinny. It's ridiculous. Hi everybody. Hi Kelly from Australia.
From Australia.
Charles from Texas, and everybody else. Eric, everybody. Noreen. Hiya. It's no. Don't get any of us wrong. None of us here are anti-gay. I've got loads of friends who are gay, bi, this, that, and the other. And to be honest, most of the people that I know in the gay community, they can't stand all this rainbow flag shit and you must treat us like this and you must treat us like that. A lot of them are like to go to the gay pride thing, but they say a gay pride month too long, a gay pride week too long, just have one weekend or one night or one day or whatever. That, and a lot of them get embarrassed by it. And then you see the really bad ones who go along wearing fuck all and they're going up to kids and stuff. And yet if a straight person did that, you'd be nicked and be told you're a pedo. Yeah. Why are there special rules that say just because you're gay, why can you do that? And again, I'm not picking on the gay community because I don't care if you're gay, bi, straight, whatever. If you're my friend, you're my friend. But if you're one of these flag waving, they, them, she, fuck off with that. No need to be like that. That's just a state of mind. Sorry, that's my piece.
No, I got a lot of gay friends that disagree with it all.
Yeah.
You know,
Josh's beard
one-
is gay. He doesn't agree with it, you know?
it's one thing celebrating what you are or who you are, but then there's throwing it into other people's faces,
Right.
which sort of seems to highlight your own cause, not the cause in general, but your own cause.
Where's disabled
And-
pride or straight pride?
Right?
Say again.
Where is it? Where's disabled pride or mental health pride or straight
Yeah.
pride? You know, if we started doing that in our communities, the disabled community, mental health community, straight community, then the gay rights people will be going fucking mental.
I'm gonna demand a paranormal pride.
Paranormal pride, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder who else
A
would jump. in.
paranormal pride month.
I think there should be a paranormal pride month where there should be people who are, I don't know, say ex-paranormal, wear really loud shirts and are very flamboyant, look like cockatoos, and they should be given the chance to come out and say, hey ho, I'm gay, all right, you know, and stuff like that. I just think it'd be really good. So
No, it's a month where people come out and say, I believe in ghosts.
we're in the paranormal.
Wouldn't it be nice for us to get some government funding for research?
Do you know, I reckon if we could get government funding for all this lot, we'd be like the bloody Ghostbusters, the original film. We'd be like that. We really would.
I did see a old school ambulance for sale, and it said on it it's the same model, the same year.
As Ecto 1.
Yeah, I thought didn't I send you that link?
No, that's it. And then I've got to turn around to my missus and say that's
It's
it.
only like $12,000 too.
So what, we're going to move to Wyoming? We're going to come over there. Rootin' tootin'! Can you imagine that? The Dark Mirror show over there. Like, good evening and welcome to Wyoming.
Why?
Why?
Well, that's where you guys are.
Not even close.
Where the fuck is
It's like way far away.
Where's the really
I'm like
snowy
by
bit?
Canada, man.
Wait, is that the really snowy bit up near Canada?
Yeah, it's like where I'm at.
Right, fuck it. Well, that's where we're going. Wherever the snow is on Josh is, we're there. Yeah.
I'm like right by Chicago.
I've got friends in Chicago. Yeah. I've got family in Colorado. I've got
Kinda.
friends up in Miami, actually, thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think, oh, gents. Good evening. So yeah, we were going to talk about Vinny tonight, being a wrestler and a paranormal investigator and Cherokee Legends and stuff. I won't spoil the Cherokee Legend that he's into because obviously something's happened and he can't be on tonight. I reckon so. He'll come on another night. But
Luchadors found him.
one thing that was brought up to me, somebody messaged me today, and they'd just found the Dark Mirror radio show on YouTube, and they just started watching it, and they were talking about when we talked about Asian ghost stories and Asian legends and stuff, and they were on about that, and I was thinking maybe we should start doing another few shows like where we just talk about. Remember when we used to just talk about the weird and wonderful side of the paranormal, where you get like the hopping Chinese vampires, and you just go boom and stick a post-it note to their head with a prayer on, and they stop. You know, that sort of shit. I reckon that'd be around. The Thai ghosts and legends, they're fucked up. They're messed up. Malaysian ones.
I don't know. You know, like the Aswan, maybe there's something to them.
The Aswan, yeah, and Orang Pendek, definitely. But the ones that are like there's one, a Japanese one. I can't remember what it's called, but it lives in a toilet cubicle, and it asks you 3 questions, and if you get the questions wrong, it fucks you up, and then it'll ask you what your favorite color is, and you have to choose. I think it's blue. If you say pink, it fucks.
What
you
if you're colorblind?
But where did I get this stuff from?
Wasn't that the glory hole monster?
No, that's a different thing. That's a different thing.
Like in Barky?
What have you been downloading, Wayne? Jesus. The glory hole monster, a big black mamba comes out like that. Ah!
I was thinking the coach from Porky's just grabs it.
Oh God!
Was that Porky's too?
Miss Bowbricker.
That's the glory hole monster right there.
Do you remember the bit when she's in the principal's office and she's trying to say you need to line them up and get them to drop their trousers and like get them? I saw the interview with some of the actors and that bit where they were just cracking up. It was genuine because she played it straight the whole way through. But what he didn't see was the outtakes, and she'd just walk off and she was absolutely crying with laughter. But those three guys, that was genuine. They were genuinely pissing themselves laughing. And the guy who played the principal, he said it was when he said, do you want them to get their pair tallywhacker out? It was that bit when he went pair because he was going to say penis. He folded, and that was it. Porky's, absolutely love it. Brilliant film. And what was her name? Lassie. Oh, Thingy Bob. Kim Cattrall. That was it. Yeah. Anyway, what's been going on in the world of the paranormal, or spooky, or UFOs, or cryptozoology this week with you guys?
It's election week. We're fighting.
Eh?
I said it's election week. We're all fighting. No time for aliens. We gotta yell at each other. And take each other's signs out of each other's yards.
I tell you what, some of the shit you guys get up to over in America, just with politics, I'm like, why the fuck did they go like that?
Well, it's all kicking off in Pennsylvania, isn't it?
Is that where the last rally was?
Some of the voting.
I don't know. I just wanted with the squirrels. Squirrels and raccoons after that. There's people ready to go to the Civil War over that.
Some of the voting places in Pennsylvania they shut the lines at 1:45. And apparently you're still allowed to join the line until 5 p.m. And if people are still there at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, they've got to stay open. And yet they shut the lines at 1:45 and stopped anybody else from going in.
Well, from what I've read, there's been loads.
Well, it's not supposed to be until tomorrow, at least with Wisconsin. There's been early voting, but then ended last week.
I can't remember what the voting thing was for, but it was something to do between Trump and Harris, and the police ended up turning up and telling people they had to go.
It was probably one of the early polls.
Yeah.
I know there was reports of people dumping loads of votes into the ballot boxes, allegedly.
But they're all done digitally now, aren't they? Because there's another TikTok that's come up now where people have tried to vote for Trump. And they've gone to press the Trump button, and it's come up with a tick in the Kamala Harris box.
Oh, really?
And they're like, "There's something wrong with this system." And I'm thinking, but if voting's not until tomorrow, there must be another voting thing going on where you can vote early if you're not going to be in the country or something like that.
Yeah, that ended
like the postal votes.
Yeah.
So
it's all one person shouting louder than the other person, promising lots of things. That's the only thing I will say. The only reason I like Trump is because, he's a bit of a twat, but to be fair, most of the things he said he was going to do, he stuck with and started trying to do.
This is my thing. If he was going to destroy the country, he probably would have did it his first term, right?
Yeah.
You're hell bent on destroying something, you would have did it when you had the power to do it. And if Carmela was going to help us, she would have done it the first 4 years. And she's kind of just been. I mean, she even lied about working at McDonald's. Like, who does that?
But there was one video I saw where Donald Trump was asked what was he going to do to make things more affordable. And he said he was going to help the economy in such a way that it would bring the price down of insurances by 50%, because that's one of the things that does a lot of damage to people. He wanted to bring back more farming, so the costs for farming would come down to get more people farming again. So it would bring the amount of your own food supplies back up again, which would bring the prices down. When they asked Kamala Harris the same question, she turned around and she did not answer what she was going to do. All she did was to say, I came from a middle-class working background. And the bloke was like, you haven't answered my question. I asked you, what are you going to do to make things more affordable if you become president? And she just kept going back. Well, my family.
One of our ones.
And there's another guy as well, some 30-year-old. He goes around colleges and he starts a debate and he gets people to come up on the microphone to ask questions. And it was so funny because he turned around and he said, this guy turned around and he was saying about Trump and Harris. And he turned around and he said, can I ask who you're voting for? And he said, I'm going to vote for Harris. He said, right, okay. Why are you going to vote for Harris? Well, because I like her attitude. I don't like Trump's. And he went, right, let me ask you one question. And he went, go on then. He said, what decent or good thing has Harris done for America? That's him, Nico. Charlie Kirk. He said, what is one good thing that Harris has done for the United States of America? And the bloke couldn't think of anything. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. He said, right, okay. He said, so I'll tell you what she's done. You could look through as much as you like, but you won't find anything that Harris has done that's been a benefit to anybody. And he's like thinking and thinking, and then all of a sudden he just broke down. He didn't know what to do. And he turned around and he said, right, so what would you rather? Would you rather have more and more people come into the country that are unvetted, taking up the taxpayers' dollar, or do you want that stopped so that things become more affordable for everybody else, and so that we can have a system where America can be great again? The bloke turned around and he said, well, I'd rather America be great again and things be more affordable. He said, so you're not going to be voting Harris then, are you? And he went, no, I won't.
It's like,
oh my God, what's going on?
It's like over here, and again, this isn't general populist opinion. It's just my opinion anyway. All the ones we've got over here, the Bobomats over here, for the last, since I was a kid, it's always been either the two big ones, Conservative and Labour, and they all lie. Every single one of them lies. Yep. It doesn't matter. They'll up to election time, same as it is in America. They'll stand there and go, "You're lying. You're this. You're that. You said you were going to do this. You won't do this. You won't do that." And then the other ones will say that about them. And then they'll make all these promises. They're going to do this, that, and the other. And as soon as they get in, they go, "No."
Right now, we have somebody butthurt in the comments. Answer Wayne's question.
Yeah, Charlie.
Right now. Answer Wayne's question. What good has she done the past 4 years? What good has anything happened in the past 4 years here?
Yeah.
Like we've got over here, we've got that little twat in charge now. He's a prick. He's an absolute gobshite. And he's just...
I mean, it's like Charles's comment. I mean, to be honest, there isn't a single politician on this entire planet that hasn't lied.
No.
Or doesn't take advantage of their position of power.
But has there ever been one by you guys that didn't take money, didn't actually take his paycheck for doing his job?
Yeah. No, he had to, didn't he? Trump had to take something because it had to be taxable. So he took $1 a week or something, wasn't it? He took when he was president last time around. But there are still, Ed, I would be surprised if someone was to say to me, and it will give me the name of a politician that has not taken advantage of their position.
Vote Dark Mirror.
They're all in it for something. You know, I mean, it's all right turning around and saying world peace, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But the amount of freebies that get thrown at them or the advantage they take over certain situations because of who they are, I'll be surprised if someone could name me one single politician that has never done that.
Do you know what they need to do? All of them, all the countries, not just us in America, all the countries. If you're going to have a government, the government should concentrate in your own country, your own military, your own economy, your own people. Start with them, sort your own fucking country out first. Then, once that's done and people are happy, your military's up to standard, you know. He
made it affordable to live here 4 years ago. That's what he did for me. He also made it so I didn't have to worry about my kids being sent to Ukraine or Israel.
Built a couple of nice golf courses in Scotland for me, I'm afraid.
and worry about their own people and stuff like that before you start worrying about anybody else and before people start getting involved in other people's wars. Just sort your own country out first. You know, ours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and tell the truth about fucking UFOs. Because I tell you what, if it was the Dark Mirror Party and we were in charge, you'd know about it, and we would be forthcoming with everything, Space Force, UFOs, the fucking lot. Yeah.
See, that's one thing that every politician in the world will not admit.
They won't. It's because they were never in charge. When they were the leader of that country, they were never in charge. They've always got their strings being pulled by other darker figures.
Yeah,
and we all know that. You know, and by darker figures, I do not mean. Where can I go with
Shadow
this?
people.
Make a racist joke. By darker figures, I mean my black cat. There you go. Wayne, come back.
yeah.
I don't know. Eric, you got my vote. Yeah, there you go. Vote the Dark Mirror. We'll fucking sort. They should have one government to rule the whole. Just sort everybody out.
Yeah.
I
couldn't. Yeah,
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we do get disclosure if that was turned into a tourist trap.
I don't believe in demons, so I'm all right.
Right?
I've always said demons and angels, I think, and I still stand by that, I think they've been
misinterpreted.
Yeah. I think they are beings from different universes, but they came in and had a scrap. And it's in, if you look back in all the stuff, you'll see it's all written down. They came in and had a scrap in their flying machines. Back then, we were shitting in our hands and going, so we didn't understand what the fucking hell they were. And we just went, angels, demons, because they appeared in a guise we would recognize. And they said, we are your gods. Kneel.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it on a live TikTok the other day, where the subject, for some unknown reason, was talking about the Bible, the Old and the New Testament, and all of this business about why we're worshipping a god. And I just turned around and said, if you go back to before all that, it wasn't one god. And I started telling them about every single religion that was possibly around 3,000 years ago worshipped numbers of gods, not just a god, but a number of gods. So what happens that changes from a number to just one?
Akhenaten happened. He was the one that tried to push monotheology on everybody.
Exactly.
That's where the one God thing comes from, was Akhenaten. Amenhotep, that's why we say Amen. Because he said that you will worship me as a god, and when you say it, you will say Amen at the end. I always thought Amen meant so be it in Aramaic, but it turns out that Amenhotep put that in there. So when we're saying Amen, we're actually giving thanks to him. So, but there's always been.
Since we're on this topic, I need to throw something out that I even forgot to tell you about. Going back to CE5, Steven Greaves people in the photos.
Yeah.
There's apparently a photo of Abnu, Astro Crowley's guide, like just recently from this past month that somebody took. Like, and it looks like spitting image of the drawing from Crowley. And I told you the whole thing too about how I thought that's who the Scientologists are worshiping.
Yeah. I've always thought like when you look into the Charles, mate, with the greatest of respect, we started a political topic debate, but no fighting, because although we have our own opinions, it's not necessarily the opinion of the Dark Mirror Radio Show, anything like that. So let's not be scrapping with each other. Let's get on with it. We should all get on with each other and vote the Dark Mirror Radio Show. Yeah, because we'll fucking sort you all out. Yeah, we'll bring full disclosure to everybody. We will make sure there are reserves for all the cryptozoologists.
Cryptodes. What about the crypt frogs?
That's a different matter. The French, I don't know what we're going to do about them.
Are those frogs in blue?
Yeah, frogs and boils.
Like little cats.
But I just so much hidden stuff. And I tell you what, stop the black budgets. Stop the black budget. Stop the black experiments. By this I mean the secret stuff. Stop all the top secret stuff and come out with it into the open, and then start saying, well, we're researching this, we're researching that, and the technology that the black budgets have got that's supposed to be 300 years in advance of us, bring it out, because you're not being fair. All the cures for cancer and everything that they've got, bring it out. All the 0 point engines and perpetual motion engines and everything, bring it out. Stop killing off people because they invented
See, that's the scary thing about them people. Do you even think they keep this stuff like that that's beneficial to us, or do they just destroy it? I honestly think that's kind of how they work, and they just keep the stuff that's meant to kill us.
I think they keep the stuff, and then gradually over the years, as things get worse and worse and worse, they're going to have to start producing their own version of it that'll make it that little bit better, that little bit better, that little bit better, until they've made millions and millions and billions and billions and billions, and then they'll turn around and say, right, we made enough money, let's let them have it.
Or it will get to a stage where it becomes so blatantly obvious that there are other things that are literally growing right on your doorstep, like we've said before about dandelions.
Yeah.
You know, heart medication, the sales of heart medication are starting to drop because of the information about dandelions and the fact that you can just walk down the street and pick a handful of dandelions and help yourself without having to rely on buying prescribed medicines.
Yeah. Just to go back to that, Charles, it's the same in this country over here. All our politicians lie. They all lie. It doesn't matter who they are. They lie out their asses till they get voted in. And as soon as they get voted in, they forget what promises they made. And it's the same all around the world. They're just as bad over here. So I wouldn't worry about it, mate. It's not worth arguing about or fighting over. All politicians are bad. They need to completely wipe out all governments and restart again. Restart again with honest people. Not people who are only in it for money and the power, because that's not how you should run a country. You shouldn't be doing the job just because you want the power or the money. You should be doing it because you want to help. You know, that's what I think.
I think if you work as a prosecutor, you shouldn't be able to work as a politician.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different help that you can give people. Yes, ladies of negotiable virtue, offer help to certain people who want that kind of help. And again, if you're going to be a politician or if you're going to run a country, run it how it should be run. Not for that, not for backhanders, not for bribes. Just run it how it should be run. Concentrate on your own country, your own shit that's going on in your own country, your own people's needs. Not outside people's needs, not outside people's wars. Worry about your own country and what's going on at home first.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Problem is, though, sometimes it's like flogging a dead horse. I mean, I last couple of days ago, I put a post in my local community Facebook group saying that we were going to, like every year or throughout the year, myself and Ellen do things for charity, like doing the Help for Heroes walk, the pancreatic cancer research charities, and doing stuff for that as well. And we decided that over Christmas we were going to try and sort of build up a supply for the food banks. And take donations of stuff up to the food banks. I put a post in saying that we were going to do a collection for Colchester Food Bank, and also collect any warm blankets to give out to the pensioners that are going to suffer this winter. And I'm still waiting for it to be approved. Everybody else's posts after that have been approved, and mine, nothing. And I thought, it's typical, isn't it? I'm trying to do some good for the community, and it gets ignored. Yet somebody that's had their bike stolen gets put on there straight away, or someone that's got a plaque for free with a house number on it, and it gets posted. And you just think, typical.
I was just looking at this message that Kelly put up there. We talk about this very often in the shows because, as you know, we do conspiracy theories, ufology, cryptozoology. One of the main conspiracy theories is everything being hushed up for money. All the, let's go electric on the cars. And it was all done because of the heads of energy giants and high-ups in the Bobermans having shares in these things or having people that work in these things. And it was all pre-done I think it's about 2016, 17, when they started doing the hybrids and then went go electric. And then they hiked the prices of the electric up. It was all to make fucking money for themselves. And it was just, it's that. They're all corrupt. The whole bloody lot of them. They all need to be buggered off out of it. And it needs to be redone by honest. And I mean honest, truly honest people. All of us lie, but not any of us are going to turn around and want to rule the country and go, let's do it for the backhanders. Let's do it. Fuck off. If you're going to do that, then you shouldn't be doing the job. You know? Anybody, when you look at our governments now, and I looked into this, you have got registered paedophiles, you've got registered bankrupts, you've got drug dealers, and you to name a few of the bad things that these MPs have been done for, and that's just our government. And you've got these people in charge of our country. What the actual fuck, you know? So, no electric cars. We're to control the people. No electricity. No transport. I know over here, and I know over here, I have it for the fact there was that meeting, and it was pre-decided over here. I don't know about over there, but over here it was. But yeah, either way, you control the electricity. You can, whoever's in control can flick a switch, and everybody's electric goes off. You know, a full charge on electric is more than a full tank of fuel.
Except for mine.
Yeah, well, except for yours, because yours is free. But an electric cars just don't have the range, you know. If electricity was dropped, the price was dropped, they could do.
I don't take National Grid electric.
He has solar panels.
I've got solar panels on my roof. So while everybody else in my area gets a power cut, I'm making a cup of tea out of my electric kettle.
I thought we were talking about your car for a minute, and I was confused. I was like, what?
I'd never have an electric car.
No, I don't blame you.
If we were forced to go electric tomorrow, I'd be getting a push bike out.
I'll have an electric motorbike purely because I've had to go one of those, and the fucking acceleration is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'll tell you what, here we go. You're absolutely right. And this is why I love doing the show in the formats it is now, because myself, Wayne and Josh, when we talk about stuff, we don't try and hide it. We don't milk it and go, oh, well. We say it as it is. And that's how it should be. Yep. Don't fucking gloss over it. Don't lie about it. Like, politicians are fucking corrupt. They are. They're wankers. You know, they all lie to get into power. Once they get into power, they forget everything that they said they were going to do. So they're arseholes. They're really, really arseholes. So, you know, it's just bollocks to them all.
I'm not bothered about my solar panels. I didn't pay for them.
I've already got mine, mate.
I'm starting on mine.
You're starting on yours. Well, I got my solar panels, and I have a chest hair.
Why isn't anybody throwing a solar panel on one of them electric bikes yet?
What is it? I've got one down there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they're safe though either.
The fastest one in the world, they went on the salt flats. I can't remember what one it was. They got to I think it was 259 on it, and then they had to stop because it still had more to go. But again, it's the same thing.
The other thing too, they're so silent. I mean, I saw Norman Reed's on his show Ride, and that's like one of the main complaints that everybody had about it was like, there was cars getting close to us and nobody could hear us. Yeah. I don't like that.
It needs to. What it needs is a loudspeaker with a 5-year-old sat in the boot going meow as you're driving down the road. That's what it needs.
Well, we get that around here with the Amazon delivery drivers. They got the electric vans.
Yeah.
And you don't hear them coming.
Yeah.
And apart from one, you hear one coming because he's got a stereo, and he's got a little stereo player in his van, and he's playing his music, and he's got the windows open, so you can hear him coming. But other than that, you don't hear them. You don't know they're there, and a lot of kids nowadays don't even look before they cross the road because they're so busy stuck to their mobile phones. You just walk out, and next thing you know, they're there. And you're like, oh, you just run that kid over because they didn't hear you coming. Yeah.
I think you've upset somebody about solar panels.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kelly, it wasn't my choice. I got the house with the solar panels already on it.
I can back him up on that one.
So I see the advantage of having the solar panels, but I didn't pay for it in the first place. So,
what was I going to say? Yeah, do you remember back in the? Do you remember the Sinclair C5?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sinclair. Okay, that's right then. The Sinclair C5 had solar panels on it, and you're absolutely right. Why is there not an electric bike or a dynamo? Because we had, when we were kids, we had the bikes with the lights. Do you remember? And you had that flick on the rear wheel, and you flicked it over, and the dynamo went against the wheel. Why can't you have vehicles that are capable of just We had alternators on cars. Alternators charge the fucking battery. If you've got an electric car, why can't you just make a bigger alternator that charges the battery and runs the car?
You're gonna end up having a heart attack. Be quiet.
But you know,
But that's always been a thing. I've always said that if you can get a dynamo on a bike, why can't Tesla put one? You know, why can't Musk put one in a Tesla? You wouldn't need to have to keep charging an electric car because it would charge itself as you're moving.
If they had, I mean, you can. I think you can get self-charging.
You can now, but when electric cars first came out, you couldn't. Things like the Toyota Prius, they had an alternator in because they also had a battery. They had the battery for the engine.
How would they make money? A job for you to invent, Mark. No free electricity. Like I say, when we were kids, we had those bikes with those on, and it used to do our lights. Cars used to have alternators on that charged the battery and stuff. I don't understand why you can't just make a bigger alternator. You're still going to need mechanics. You're still going to need technicians, and you're still going to need the people to sort out all the electrical bits on it. So,
and you're going to need some form of lubricant to work the moving parts. So it's either got to be a vegetable-based lubricant, or it's got to be from crude oil.
So why don't you, dude? The show's about to finish. Vinny,
Oh.
the show finishes in 4 minutes, mate. He's still got his headphones on. Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
I can't hear you guys. Why is that? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Mark, I've just realised something.
What?
Their clocks don't go back till Sunday.
No, it happened last Sunday.
Oh, did it? Oh, last Sunday. Yeah, it could be a time mix-up.
We finish in 4 minutes, Vinny. Vinny?
I don't think he can hear us.
Can you hear us now? Nope.
Hello?
My Snoopy, when I was little, had the same sunglasses.
Oh,
he's gone again. Well, anyway.
Tesla had the right idea.
No free electricity. There's a lot wrong with the world, but I do think that there's a lot that could be changed in the world, and there's a lot of shit that needs to be changed in the world, especially if we're ever going to join the Galactic Federation or whatever the hell they call it. You know, too much killing, too much warring over crap, too many people get offended over fuck all, and it's ridiculous.
That's a whole nother can of worms itself, though. So it's just another year.
And you know what? I'm just going to message Vinny and say, look, you'll have to come on next week, mate, because we're finished. Hang on.
Yeah.
Vinny, mate, we finish in 3 minutes. So would you like to join us next week? Josh, what time is it over there at 9:30 here? When you start on yours, is it 3:30 or 2:30?
3:30.
3:30. So 3:30.
But he's in the.
Hang on, here we
go. I'm Central Standard.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, it was my fault, man. I got the wrong damn gimmick. I selected the wrong information there for my thing. Sorry.
We finish in 2 minutes.
Beautiful.
So would you like to join us next week?
What is it? Almost over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you the link before we started.
Oh, I thought it was 5:30 New York time. Is it? I guess it's 4:30 New York time.
It's
3:30.
What are you on, Josh? Eastern?
Central Standard.
So you're 3:30. Is it 3:30 you or 2:30 you?
3:30 me.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
3:30
4:30 me next week.
Where? Yeah. What state are you in? I'm in Wisconsin.
I'm in Tennessee, but I'm in the eastern part
Okay.
of it. So it's New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh, shit, guys, I'm
yeah, you're
sorry.
east.
That's all right, dude. Don't worry. What was it an hour ago? What time was it an hour ago? Where you are, Vinny?
It'll be 4:30.
Right. So 4:30 next
New
Monday.
York. Yeah. Eastern Standard Time.
Right, I love that lid, by the way. I love your skid lid.
Oh, this whole thing. All right, guys. Well, thank you for having me. It was wonderful. I think we're all wiser for it.
Right.
We'll see you next Monday, mate.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's next week.
So anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Mr. Vinny Vineyard, who will be joining us, hopefully the correct time, next Monday. To be fair,
on next week's show, we have.
next week's show, we will have Mr. Vinny Vineyard. So, yeah.
That was just a preview.
Man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Vinny. It's cool. Don't worry about it. So, yeah. To be honest, I've enjoyed the debate tonight, and everybody in the chat room. It's just debate. And that's the whole thing about this show. We like talking about sensitive stuff. We talk about things that people get really passionate about. We like talking about corruption. We like talking about cryptids, UFOs, ghosts, legends, all that sort of thing. So I think next week, glad I got to say hi. Take care, each and every one of you. Well, join us next week, Kelly, if you want.
You get it.
Or having you in the room. Next week we shall talk. We'll get some stuff up about Native American legends, yeah. Because Vinny knows your stuff about Spearfinger. Now, when I used to do martial arts, Spearfinger thrust was one of them, but he knows the legend of the real Spearfinger, so that'll be quite good.
That sounds so wrong.
I'm not sure whether Josh is frozen or is having a poo.
No, he's gone. I was going to mention about these new harp ships that have been spotted.
Yes. Talk about it. Go on. Far away.
Well, recently there has been a number of incidences where the harp installation, which was supposedly doesn't exist, has been affecting weather all over the world. And finally now people have actually managed to take pictures of these so-called harp ships in various locations throughout the world, including Cyprus. And Cyprus just recently had severe deluge of rain, which flooded a lot of the towns and major city on Cyprus. And oddly enough, somebody was walking along near the harbour, and not far off of shore was one of these harp ships. And it's exactly the same as the harp system that is on land. All these antennas, whether it's harp or not is another thing, but they're exactly the same.
I'm going to mention something that where the fuck did I hear it? There's a guy who channels an alien who's part of the Galactic Federation. I can't remember his name, bald-headed guy, really good. He was talking about he was channeling this Galactic Federation guy, and he was saying that if we are going to appear, and when we do, we'll be letting you know we don't mean you any harm, and when we do, you'll start seeing craft just off the coast of
offshore. Yeah,
it'll be just off the coast where we're just out of reach, where you know we can't hurt you, but you can see us. We got nothing to hide, and we'll stay there, and you'll see us for a while, and then when you get used to it, then we can start talking. And he said that's how it will start to happen. It'll be just off the coasts of all the countries. And there's been a lot more sightings of these ships just off the coast.
Yeah.
So, I'm quite looking forward to that.
I've seen of at least 3 separate places where these harp ships have been seen.
We are still live, Josh, but we're going to end any second. So don't worry. He goes, are we still live?
Yeah,
but there is. In fact, we'll talk about that next week as well. Yeah, right. Because we're going to have to go because you've got other people. eating into other people's time. So everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Everybody in the chat room, everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everyone who watches us, brilliant. Our figures have gone really, really good. We're like between 500 to 1,000, and then 2,800 was one of the episodes, and it's just getting better and better and better, and more people are listening to us. We don't mean to piss anybody off, upset anybody. We say a lot of stuff in light-hearted manner. We also speak how we feel, but nobody ever take any offense, because we don't mean to offend anybody. But we have to keep it real, because otherwise we won't be the Dark Mirror Radio Show anymore if we don't. And that's what a lot of these shows who get famous happens to them. They get famous, and then people approach them and say, if we start sponsoring you and paying you, can you turn it down a bit? We won't turn it down a bit, because it wouldn't be us, and we couldn't do it without you guys, and you guys who watch us and listen to us. So thank you very much for staying with us and listening to our inane rapturous rabble.
I mean, the money would be nice, but that's not why we do it.
The money would be awesome, but if it meant we had to change, I'm not going to change my integrity or the integrity of the show, or Wayne, or Josh, or anybody else who comes on there. This is a safe haven for if you want to come in there and rant, you want to spout about aliens, you want to spout about the people under the crust of the earth, everything, governments, the whole lot, do it. So, but being paid would be nice, because we don't get paid. Being paid would be very nice. Elon Musk, if you're watching, I love the Teslas, by the way, mate. Anyway, and the Range Rovers. I like Range Rovers, and I like the Tesla truck, the Cybertruck. So anyway, on that note, everybody, we will see you next Monday, 9:30 our time, 3:30 Eastern. Sorry, 3:30 Central Time, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Right.
And 11:30 if you're in Greece.
And if you're in the rest of Europe, you're an hour ahead, so it'll be 10:30. Anyway, we'll see you next week, and we'll have Mr. Vinny Vineyard with us at the correct time. So we will see you all next week. So see you later, and bye from us all. Now I've got to find the button to turn this bloody well off.
Microwave.
Right. Microwave. Bad. Bye-bye.